The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing out there? Now, we are talking to down south hip-hop legends, T.I.P. and Young Jeezy. Now, let me tell you guys something real quick, because the way I grow, it's gonna be a little different, all right? All right, in the hip-hop aspect of what I do, I think going forward, with my age group, I grew up listening to Tip and Jeezy. So what I think I'll be able to do is, the further they get along in their careers, and as they age, I'm going to be able to talk those hip hop stories that I know about them, like from afar, obviously, and be able to talk about some of the music, because they'll be like my legends, right? I'm 23, so they're like my legends. These are the people when I was a kid I was growing up to. I didn't grow up listening to Jay. I'm from the South, all right? I'm from Memphis. The farthest we got was Atlanta, some of us, right? And I'm not speaking for everybody, but I know the people that I was around, T.I. and Jeezy was our it factors, all right? Them were the people that they didn't live in Memphis, but for us, we loved us some Tip and Jeezy, all right? I grew up on that type of music, and I think there's a lane, right? I think most of everybody is, you know what I mean, in the business or whatever. We're all praising Jay, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but we got a lot of other legends. So when we see people like Tip and Jeezy, and I see that there's a potential of a project, I get happy, damn it, because I love these two rappers, right? Two of my favorites all time. They got to be on my top 10, top 15 list, I know, all right? I'm doing a list, by the way, at the end of the year at some point of my top 10 all time. I got to do something for the years out. Anyways, T.I. is doing interviews right now. He's promoting his Hustle Game project. And this is what he said about them doing a joint album, all right? So for those who don't know, there has been talk, years of a joint album between the two. I'll come back and talk a little bit more about it shortly. T.I. was like, I just want to get started. He said, you know, me and Young, we tend to go back and forth because Young, he does a lot of contemplating, which is very good because that's how you come up with the best ideas. But I just move. I'm ready to go, all right? And then Jeezy said, he was like, look, this is an old Jeezy quote, right? What T.I. said was this week, but this is an old Jeezy quote about the project. He's a little bit more indifferent about it. He's a little bit more indecisive, rather, about the project. He said, I think at the time that we're really on it, I think he got busy and went on tour. You know, Tip's my brother. He's always going to be. The one thing that I'm going to say about Tip is that he's always going to have great ideas. So me and him have a couple of things back and forth. He talked about an album. I talked about a movie. And we just seem to go back and forth on it ever since. He wants to do an album. I want to do a movie. So if we could do a movie with a soundtrack, I think we're good. All right. So I want to break down what I think about these two guys. I think T.I. is more interested in still being the same Tip. Don't get me wrong, T.I. put out a very good conscious project. I was like a year or two ago. And I think T.I. still battles with back and forth, going with who he wants to be in rap, or who he used to be rather. And, you know what I'm saying, kind of going back and forth. Still one of my favorite artists to this day. And I think Jeezy's one of those guys who, you heard the Church in These Streets project, and he put out a project since then. I think Jeezy's more conscious of what he says nowadays, right? So this is my opinion. They're both very conscious individuals. And I think Jeezy's looking at it because the name of the project is going to be Dope Boy Academy, right? And these are two OGs now, becoming OGs, talking about, hey, youngster, this how the game works. This how the dope game works. Because obviously these two talk that trap music with the best of them when they were coming up. So I think Jeezy is more or less thinking about the bigger picture. This is just my opinion. I think Jeezy's trying to say, let's do a movie, because if we don't do a movie, we're going to kind of sound corny with us being two 40-year-old rappers still talking about dope or selling dope and everything like that. And, you know, we're far removed from that. We got families. We got, you know, Jeezy got like a kid that's like, what, 19, 20 or something like that now. You know what I mean? And Tip's got kids that are getting older and growing and stuff like that. So I think Jeezy's more or less thinking out and trying to put together a real bigger plan. And T.I. just wants to get it done. I think I heard T.I. say, if we get in the studio for a week, I think we can knock this thing out. I think Jeezy's trying to come with a more concise plan. And I'm thinking, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Jeezy wants this movie because it'll give him a little bit more leeway to talk about some more street stuff and talk about that dope game a little more. And they'll get a little more leeway, and they'll probably sell a couple more records. So I get where Jeezy's coming from. I think a movie would be great And T.I.'s a phenomenal actor, and I've seen Jeezy. Well, I seen him in the Janky Promoters joint. He was decent in that. So I think them two together, a movie and a project and a tour, you know what I mean? It would be great for me. I love it. You know, I'd be in that tour. I won't be front row, but I'd be in that bad boy. I've heard T.I. talk on numerous occasions. He was trying to do a tour. I think it was him, Jeezy, and Gotti. And they were going to do like a trap tour or something like that. The leaders of the trap tour, some shit like that. I think I maybe heard Meek was involved in it or something like that as well. So I know they want to get a project out and tour off of it. I know the tour would do great. Could they do arenas? I don't know. I don't know if they could do arenas. Talk to me in the comment box below. Could they do arenas? If T.I. and Jeezy headlined the tour? I don't know about that one. That arenas, we're talking about 15, you know what I'm saying, 10, 15, 20,000 people. Some of these venues, obviously some of it will be closed off. I don't know. Y'all talk to me about that. Are you guys checking for a T.I. Jeezy album? All right, again, while everybody's going to the, I hate to keep bringing this guy up, the Lil Yachty's and Lil Pumps of the world, I still enjoy music from my legends. And just to hear that T.I. and Jeezy are potentially coming out with an album is legendary to me. All right? Thank y'all for the time, love, support. I do not take it for granted. Salute. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty.